Welcome. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Oh, Gulagichi. Sorry. Sorry, your profile name just kind of jumped out at me for a second. So the demons are working extra hard. Literally, as soon as I went to go live, someone starts using a weed whacker right outside. It is what it is. It is what it is. And yeah, I don't care. I don't care. And now they've stopped. Anyways, welcome, guys. I asked what this conversation was going to be about. And what I heard is the density is hiding something. So there's something going on. I'm not sure what, but whatever it is, it's something that you're needing to make sure you you factor in, something that you need to take into consideration. Again, I don't know what it is. So you'll need to use discernment, okay? The energy is extremely dense today. Extremely dense. A lot of like depth of emotion, a lot of like feelings of almost like internal destruction. Like if you guys are feeling as though everything is going wrong, I can't do anything right, I am so sad, I am depressed, I don't know what to do with my life, breathe. I am in no way saying you're tripping or being dramatic or anything like that. Breathe. Just breathe. Breathe. Pause before you do any decisions. Breathe and pause. It's very important. It's very, very important. Okay. Well, thank God. You know what I'm saying? Sky Daddy coming in clutch, sending the team. I'm not even joking. Okay. I'm not even joking. Creation has had enough. Ooh, damn. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, y'all. I like this. I do. I like this. I like this. There's like this growing awareness of this attempt to create conflict, havoc, miscommunication, all kind of just really dense, really ugly type things for you in your life right now. Really close connections are probably what's going to be targeted. Again, the most powerful thing you can do during a period like this is just pause, breathe. That's it. Just pause and breathe. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Okay, you have to tell yourself this. It's not a big deal. I've been through similar things before. You know, I'll get through this. It's not a big deal. If you continue to tell yourself this and really allow this to be, rooted in the reality that you are living, then it becomes not a big deal. It becomes not a big deal. So remind yourself this, okay? As many times as you need to say it, remind yourself this. So, and I was talking to an older gentleman at the gym today. He's very, very friendly, lovely, lovely person. He talks to everyone. And he made it a point to kind of check on me, like, hey, Emmy, how you doing? How's everything? Because he's known that I've been injured. And I was like, I'm good. He goes, oh, that's good. And then he says to me, and he goes, are you really good? And I said, you know what? Even if I'm not good, I'm telling myself I'm good because eventually I will be. Listening to my body, listening to the guidance, eventually I will be. I will not return back to that mindset of I'm injured, I'm injured, I'm injured. I recognize how my body feels. I recognize the important details that I need to pay attention to. But do I need to identify as that moment, that dense moment where I'm going through a hardship, I'm going through a difficult emotion, difficult thought, difficult circumstance? Awareness is not the same as identifying to your core that you are this temporary situation that will eventually be resolved. The sooner you get into the mindset, wholeheartedly, into this mindset, like, I'm not the situation, I just need to find solutions for this situation and it will resolve, the sooner it will actually resolve. So let's get started. This is a whole ass story. Containment. I said Sky Daddy is done. It's done with all of the bullshit. It's done with all of the like yada da 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 da. I mean, we can either continue to allow ourselves to be convinced that we have no say and we have no power, or you can be like, okay, for however long I haven't been actively, consciously harnessing and using my power to stabilize internally and then externally, but I'm going to choose to do that now. It's not too late. There's no time frame where like your ability to call your power and intentionally utilize it has now expired and you can't do it anymore. No. There's no expiration date. So if you haven't been using your power, start using it. And I don't think it's a coincidence that now that I'm beginning the actual heart of the message, they're now mowing the lawn again. Motherfucking shit. Motherfucking shit. It's okay. I can speak louder. I can speak more clearly. And if you're struggling to hear and understand what I'm saying on TikTok, go to YouTube. I'm live on YouTube right now, and my mic, I'm so sorry, YouTube. I feel like I booped you on the nose. My mic is picking up my audio much better on YouTube. So now is the time to really allow the seeds to be grounded. It's time to recognize that all of this upheaval, it's serving your purpose. The upheaval is like the plow running through the field. How does this fit in? Okay, well, why do they plow the field? To prepare it for the seeds that will be sown. Yes, running a plow through a field is an extremely destructive process. All the little critters that live in the field will, in fact, if they can't run away in time, they are harmed. That's not something to celebrate. But if you can see it from a space of what soul is trying to say, all the rats and the mice, the rodents, soul is clearing that out. These people and things that are trying to observe, that are trying to spy on you, trying to make sure that they're paying attention to every single little movement and decision in order to thwart your efforts, they're going to be cut up. I don't give a shit. When my soul says something needs to happen, I'm going to let it happen. Once upon a time, the way I existed, I was like, oh, what about this person? What about that person? Babe, if they are standing in the way of the plow, thinking that they will be halting that plow and they a little mouse, I'm sorry, you're not going to win against my soul. Actually, I'm not sorry. I don't want to lie to y'all. I'm not sorry. It's just this thing of recognize and acknowledge when you are standing in front of the pathway of a soul. Y'all have given your power away for far too long. For far too long, you've allowed these little mice to be the very thing that stops you from moving forward. No more. No more. Your fears, your insecurities, all these little quirks that you have that you know sabotages your efforts. It sabotages everything that you're trying to accomplish. Put those things back in their place. Those are little Lego pieces that need to be put back in the Lego bin and put away. You're afraid to step on I don't know if y'all are parents, but let me tell you, at some point, each of my children have been into Legos, and Jesus Christ. If you have never stepped on a Lego piece, Just give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'm remembering. I'm remembering. It is not a happy memory. Those are not happy memories. So, what needs to happen? Put the Lego pieces away. If you want to actively build something and you need those Lego pieces, then yes. But until you are actively building and need that piece, put that where it belongs. Put it away, not to pretend it doesn't exist, but because you don't currently need it right now. You don't currently need that piece. So, what's happening? What's happening? For some, it's not going to happen for all because some people still cling to that density. Some people need that density to justify their miserable existence. Doesn't mean you're needing or stuck being miserable. It doesn't mean any of that. I used to exist as a miserable person. Does that mean I'm miserable? No, I couldn't let go of the things that made me miserable. And then so I continued that cycle of being miserable. The moment I began to banish, to push away the very things that make me miserable, that trigger the thoughts and the emotions that keep me perpetually in a state of miserable, what happened? What happened? I stopped being miserable. I'm still a moody mofo. Don't get me wrong. That's just a part of who I am. I'm moody. I'm intense. Happy, I'm very intensely happy. When I'm sad, I'm very intensely sad. I'm just a fucking naturally intense person. So give yourself the permission to banish, push away, clear out the things that keep you perpetually stuck to that state of existence. What does that state of existence do? Well, it prevents you from creating new opportunities. It prevents you from being able to get to a space where you begin to really see how life is very much open to you and whatever it is you want to create. If you don't correct that, you'll never be able to see all the different potentialities that life is offering you. The only limits that exist are the limits that you wholeheartedly believe apply to you. Those are the only limits that exist. So, what is it that you believe? You believe everyone else is supposed to be happy and you're not allowed to? Do you believe that you're being punished for previous lives and, all of those things? Do you believe that karma is a form of punishment? Therefore, you're justifying how you weren't able to learn that lesson. And so in this life, that previous life lesson that wasn't completed is now going to be the reasoning why your soul is punishing you. Baby, the only thing punishing you is your perception of what you're worth. That's the only thing that punishes you. Y'all are giving me wrinkles. Ooh. I'm at a point. I recognize the person that I am. I'm a good person. I give because my heart tells me to. I try my best to abstain from people projects. I allow myself to feel the things that need to be felt. I acknowledge the things that need to be acknowledged. I'm far from perfect, but I'm not asked to be perfect. There's no expectation for perfection as it is defined by other humans. I'm perfect in the way that divinity created me to be, embracing the parts of myself that rise to the surface for my acknowledgement, right? And then releasing my unfair, unrealistic expectations of myself. Yeah. I would say I'm getting stronger simply because I'm now allowing, just allowing. Everything is the way it has to be. Everything is the way that it has to be to push you to learn and expand in your awareness of yourself. Everything is the way that it has to be. And how it has to be is a very dynamic thing that changes with every breath, with every shift of emotion, every shift of perception, every new thought that comes in, every old thought that tries to dominate your process. Everything is how it has to be in that moment, knowing it's only a moment. And whatever I choose to carry into the next moment, I am responsible for. So, right, Mariah, expectations of self. What do you expect from yourself? I was thinking earlier today, because I'm very intense, I often don't really know when to slow down, when to pause, when to take a deep breath and just soak in what I've already done. Reminding myself to do it now. So today I was pushing and pushing and pushing. It was back day, and my back really has had not much rest because I'm forcing hypertrophy. I'm forcing it and forcing it and forcing it, backing off only when I know injury is about to occur. And then I go right back to forcing it and forcing it and forcing it. And then I paused. After speaking to that older gentleman, I paused and I thought about it. What am I doing? What am I doing? And then, of course, the thoughts start. Well, I didn't fully and officially commit to doing a show in August or September, but the potentiality is there. So that's what I'm trying to do. Force hypertrophy in a short period, and then force extremely rapid weight loss. I can't do that. I shouldn't do that. I'm at an age where I need to respect the process of my body. Once upon a time, I could force hypertrophy like a motherfucker, and then rapid weight loss because I can drop weight really fast. As a matter of fact, my body prefers that I be the typical like adolescent boy Asian body type. My body prefers that. But what will that do to me? Mm. Wow. 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 That question. Ooh. When was the last time you were disregarding your needs and you paused to simply ask yourself, what will that do to me? Your body, your soul, your energy, your auric field, it keeps a very delicate balance, down to the balance between your different biosalts, your electrolytes, all of that. You're a very carefully calibrated machine, and your thoughts and your emotions, they pair together to serve as a reprogrammer. That's how you reprogram the standing scalar waves that your perceived individuated existence is made of. What will that do to you? And just because you know how to biohack everything doesn't make it permissible to shock your existence in the way that you're trying to. I very intimately know my body. I very, very intimately know my body. I can gain muscle very fast. I could lose fat very fast. And if I calculate it just right, I can take this calculated risk of how much muscle my body will lose as it burns the fat, because it will burn everything, right? And then I could also fill in with specific supplements that will cause me to hold on to the lean tissue and offer up the fat first. I know how my body reacts to a ketogenic diet. It just burns fat like crazy. I have access to body workers who can tighten my skin like crazy. It will fucking hurt, but I can tighten it like I never had kids. I could do peptide stacks. Like, how bad do I want to win? I want to win real bad. I want to win real bad. But win at what? Win at what? Because if you're doing these things that completely disregard your needs and the delicate balance that your body is struggling to keep already, what are you winning at? I've won many things in life. Many things. Achievement is my norm. It's not something that I would even celebrate. That's my norm. So I achieve this, then what? Then I spend the next 3-4 years trying to undo the harm. I'm not just talking about a bodybuilding competition. Apply what I'm sharing to the ways in which you are moving through your spiritual journey. Apply it. At what cost? What price are you paying for the type of development you think will justify the price you paid, that you think would justify the type of catastrophic damage you will do? And most of this damage will probably be irreversible unless you can find someone that's extremely well versed, and I mean very well versed, in the reprogramming of standing scalar waves. The density is hiding something. It's meant to trigger you. Trigger you in what way? Trigger you in a way that would expose your insecurities and fuel your reactiveness. So what does that mean? When I paused earlier today, I have a history of dysmorphia, body dysmorphia. Yeah. I have a history of, trigger warning, anorexia. Yeah. Oh, I could go a long time, very long time. I love the feeling of hunger. I love that. It's it's a punishment only I can feel. So when I paused, I recognized everything I'm doing with this deadline of doing a show that I'm not obligated to do is the most refined way I could find to continue to punish myself. I don't need to do that. I don't need to force myself in a situation that I know will absolutely harm me. My body is extremely sensitive. That's why I don't just let anyone work on me. I don't just go to any practitioner. It has to be this thing where I'm reading your energy. It has to be in alignment. You have to have naturally already existing inside you this awareness that I am not a regular person. And I don't mean that from a space of ego. I mean that as my body exists as an anomaly, a medical anomaly. So then what happens? Whatever soul asks me to happen. The density that's hiding, it did what it needed to do for me today. It brought my attention to the fact that I'm losing sight of things. I have a drive like you wouldn't believe. Like, I have the type of drive that builds empires. And to me, it's no big deal. Like, oh, okay, check that off. Seriously. Seriously. You have to understand that some of the healthiest parts of you can also be utilized in a very parasitic way to create the opportunity to harm you. I recognize today that drive that just naturally exists. It needs to be put in its place. There's a time and a place for specific types of characteristics to come out. Right now, I need to chill the fuck out. I do. I need to chill out. I do. I do, because the expectation that I have for myself is not aligned with the reality of what is healthy for me. What does that mean? Well, if you want an example, I'll give you one. My expectation is to develop the build that is only achievable by using gear. I won't use it though. That will fuck me up. That I will not recover from that. I already know, right? So, how can I do that if I'm not going to do that? I have abnormal genetics. My body responds to stress in a different way. It craves it. It's weird. It's weird. Once I'm stressed to a certain degree, my resistance to what I'm doing completely goes away, and I'm in full hyperfixation automatic mode. And when I'm in that mode, there is no resistance. Anything I fixate on, it will develop in a hyper way. At what cost? What price are you paying to get the results that you believe you need to step up to? I mean, there's two types of people in this world. The type that will go beyond what is fair and realistic when it comes to expectations of self. And the other type is a type that has no drive. You're one or the other, to varying degrees of intensity, depending on your willingness to allow this characteristic to show through. You are one or the other. There is only two types. There is only two types. Which one are you? And what degree of intensity are you at? Because the density is hiding something, and whatever is being hidden by this density, it's going to trigger the shit out of that. And if you're not ready, there's going to be some unfavorable experiences very soon. So I recognized that while I was at the gym today. I recognized it. It was trying to trigger this deeply, deeply rooted type of competition, intensity. Y'all, let me tell you, I am so driven and so competitive. I almost never allow this part of me out. When I was in college, I took I took a badminton class. I took a badminton class with my then bestie. He was my coworker, and he sucked. I mean, he's mediocre, he's fine, but that's not how I operate. So we were playing mixed doubles and I just shoved him off the court and I said, "Stay off my court." And you best believe I fucking won that match by myself. And luckily he was very gracious with me because he was just like laughing about it. And then after I won, I looked at him like, "Man, you fucking suck." What the fuck? You fucking suck. Shit. Do you even know how to play? What the fuck? Yeah. Yeah. And you know what he said, because he's actually a Marine. He's like, "You should have went for the Marines." I was like, "For what?" I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't. That type of intensity and drive cannot be unleashed, not unless it's for something productive for the collective whole, because that is such a slippery slope. It's very hard to find your footing, because if I enter into that state, I don't care who I make cry. I'm going to fucking win at all costs. Injury, tape that shit up. We're still going. And I am certified in first aid. I have been for quite a few years. I know how to stabilize joints with tape. How does that serve me? For the most part, it doesn't. For the most part, it doesn't. But when it needs to, oh, I will fucking not just unhook the chain from that beast, I will take the whole fucking collar off. But only when it's appropriate. Only when it's appropriate. You have to know what type of person you are. If you're the type that has no drive, doesn't make you lazy, doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you're more willing to allow things to be hurtful and harmful. You can't allow that. You need to exist without a collar on. Why? Because you use that collar as part of your conditioning to justify why you take no healthy action for your life. Whatever is happening right now, this density that's rolling through, it's something that's going to trigger, no matter which type of person you are, it's going to trigger that. And if you don't know how to navigate that, you're going to have some really unsavory experiences in the next couple of weeks. And no, it's not something you need to be afraid of. It's something that's going to really fucking inconvenience you. I deal in the realm of inconvenience, not fear. That's why I don't understand why people are always like constantly, "Oh my God, Emmy's such a fear peddler," but I'm not afraid. That's the thing. I'm not afraid, and I don't believe you need to be afraid. It's just a matter of, well, I mean, how willing are you to be inconvenienced? There's certain things where it's inconvenient, but whatever, not a big deal. There's other things that's like, no, bitch, absolutely not. Hell no, you're not going to inconvenience me in that way. I don't think so. I'm not going to allow myself to agree to that. Life is nothing but calculated risks that lead to varying degrees of intensity of inconvenience. No matter what, you get through everything. You get through everything. So what's there to be afraid of? And it's not to say I never experience fear. It's to say when I do, I recognize that fear is simply telling me what I need to pay attention to. That's it. That's it. Whatever it is you're afraid of, that's something that needs to be cleared out at this point. Cleared out why? Cleared out how? Okay, why? Because you need to no longer be in a space where your fear is crippling you. It's causing you to believe specific things about yourself that are not your actuality. Your actuality is what causes you to view your reality in the way you do. So, what needs to happen? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Have we started summer? I don't know. I think so. Beltane, right? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not allowed to remember these types of things. Because look, spring in reverse. So I'm trying to determine, is this something that is the message about something that was initiated during the springtime? And now it's just carrying through, and you're being tasked by your higher self. Massive shifting of energy right now. You're being tasked by your higher self to determine whether you will bring this home or not. And if you bring it home, is it going to negatively impact your dedication? Right? So, homecoming and dedication. Summer starts June. Okay, so maybe it's something that's happening right now. Okay. Soul is not going to have anyone hold your hand anymore. You need to get through this on your own. Everything is being pulled back. Ooh, everything is being pulled back. That's huge. Holy mole, 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 hole, mole, hole, mole. Holy moly. Holy moly. Wow. Okay, so it kind of makes sense to me. Everything that has been enabling your sense of fear, your sense of lack of capacity and capability, it's being pulled back. Oh, thank you, Soul Star. I just saw some ball of light. Everything that is enabling your fear of tapping into your power is being pulled back. So now it makes sense to me why my soul instructed me to no longer publicly offer parasitic extraction. It makes sense. It makes sense. I think it has a lot to do with maybe, have you not been taking responsibility for your life? And maybe you've started to take responsibility, you've started to take accountability, and you're kind of backsliding just a little bit. I don't see it as a failure. It's kind of just an acknowledgement of a reversal of something to some degree, and your soul is letting you know, like, no, you have to climb out. Like, hands will no longer be extended to you. You have to climb out. You have to choose this next part. You have to choose this next part. The density doesn't want you to choose what is healthiest for you. I've never really cared what other things want me to do. I've never really cared what other things want me to do. Unless, of course, it's like they genuinely need help, then yeah, I kind of like have to consider that. Is it right for me to help? Am I interfering? But for the most part, like, I don't really care. I care about a lot of things, but not that. Not that. Which window would be best for choosing? Huh. Which window would be best for choosing? I read that, and it's like, the whole house is made of glass. Why choose one window when you could choose a wall, when you can choose a door, when you can choose to simply open the entire wall? You ever seen those sliding doors that are the entire wall? And you could just kind of push the whole wall to the side. It's made of glass. It's see-through. Why limit it? Why limit it? See, people are afraid of falling apart when there exists etheric tensegrity. The etheric tensegrity allows you to exist in a state of chaos, cosmos, and not fall apart. You will not fall apart. You might have this perception that if you choose the wrong thing, that somehow it will completely deconstruct and destroy your entire life and you will fall apart. No, you're still going to be whole. You're still going to be whole. So choose whatever you're drawn to. Just whatever you're drawn to. I think that would be the healthiest thing. That would be the most empowering thing, knowing that you are making the choice, that you are choosing. No other thing is choosing for you. No other thing outside of yourself is forcing this on you. That's powerful. That realization that you have that type of authority over yourself. Love it. I do. So Lamashu and Lilyu, those two beasts are actively fighting now. They are. They're actively fighting. And it's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. So what's going to need to happen? You're going to need to allow your divine masculine to come forward. It doesn't mean you need to fight. It means you need to be willing to stand your ground. Enforce that boundary. Don't let either one in unless you want them in, at which point that's on you. Literally on you, because I'm not extracting shit at this point. It would be on you. So the upside down mindset, because both have the capacity to place your mindset upside down, it's going to be revealed to you. The ways in which one of these two, Lamashu or Lilyu, the two twos, one of them is going to influence you. I think they're both kind of in a race, in some type of competition, to see how many they can influence. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. So dangerous, so dangerous. My whole entire unit is dangerous. My unit is, for real. They better just leave us alone, because if they want to fuck around and find out, I serve that meal hot. I serve it cold, frozen, roasted, barbecued. How you want it? Convection baked? However you want it. But you have to take a look at the bigger picture, right? These two, I swear to God, these two are trying to prevent your communication with your higher self. You need to start speaking to your higher self. This is a bad thing. What does Sagittarius have to do with this? Sagittarius. Is that like an entry point? Give me 1 second. Sagittarius. Okay. It's a fire sign known for its adventurous, optimistic, and intellectual nature. Sagittarius is often represented by an archer or a centaur, symbolizing its pursuit of knowledge and exploration. Oh, they're trying to learn something. Recon. Trying to do recon. Let's see. Centaurs are often depicted as savage, wild, and prone to violence, especially when intoxicated. However, some centaurs, like Chiron, were known for their wisdom and were revered as teachers and healers. Ooh. Centaurus. Okay, hold on. What aliens are from? Celestians. Alpha Centauri. Why do I get like tingles all over? Mika, Ella. I don't have time for this. Tell me. Okay. Okay. Michael says this is information that I'm not allowed to have. I say, okay, whatever you say. I don't give a shit what you say. He says, I tell you this for a reason. Listen. Mika, listen to me. You are my babysitter. You are not my guide. You are not my instructor. You are not my teacher or any of those things. Now, if I choose to have these types of interactions with you and allow you to experience my openness to your words, that's one thing. But right now, I want the information. Give it to me. Here it is. Oh, fucking Xeno Centaur. Oh, holy shit. Too late. I found it. I found it. Okay. How does this tie into Prometheus? Prometheus. Xeno. The black goo, it's a link to, I already know that. A biological weapon. Oh, hell fucking no. Michael, calculate the risk potential. Calculate the risk potential. I want it in percentage. Which lineage are they looking for? Have any Uraf fallen? No. Okay. Calculate the risk potential for Uraf, specifically Uraf. Calculate the risk potential for shield breach. Recalibrate all shields, please. Re-encrypt internal comms. Yes. Approving family lockdown. This is bad. This is bad. This is not good. Let me, let me just breathe. I just need to drink for a moment. Mika, is this in response to Lemuria? I'm authorizing Leviathan code integration. Code integration with a planetary shield, please. Planetary template as well. This needs to be contained. He asked me, are you afraid? Not really. It's just kind of inconvenient because I have a lot of work. um, you know, it's one of those things. It's just one of those things. So, getting back on track. Take time to breathe out. Release that carbon. Exhale that energy. Exhale that toxin. You and your loved ones are safe. Right? You and your loved ones are safe. Secondary layer. Shield encryptment, please. Primary levels. A shore will never find. Good. Good. Very, very good. Triple that. Upper and lower octave. Direct port injection, please. Okay. So a fiery climax approaches, but it's in reverse. So this is telling me that there's efforts. All I know is for my specific etheric line, we're exempt from this. This is not something we're going to experience. It's not being greenlit by creation. But for those who are not part of my etheric line, this is something that's kind of like, it's meant to create a lot of cognitive dissonance, triggering of cognitive dissonance. And as that cognitive dissonance begins to get triggered, you begin to be destabilized within your auric field. It's parasitic thought inception that's leading to parasitic dysregulation syndrome. Parasitic dysregulation syndrome is a term that I coined, speaking about what I've observed over the years, specializing in parasitic extraction. That's actually my specialty outside of etheric medicine, quantum etheric medicine. That's another subspecialty of mine. So those two together. I'm not doing expedites today, so tomorrow I might go live to do expedites. I would need to consider what type of corrective activations I could offer. I would need to consider that because this is on multiple layers and levels. This is an attempt to access specific energetic structures that once breached, those things are going to be very hard to repair. But there's balance that's happening. You know what I mean? There's balance. It's a win-win outcome. So maybe there is a very elevated potentiality that for those who will in fact experience field breach, like full infiltration of your auric field, certain structures should not be allowed to be accessed though. For those who will experience full infiltration of your auric field, it could serve you in that this could be the very trigger that will cause rapid frequency accretion. That rapid frequency accretion could serve your ascension mechanics. It will accelerate it. It's a catalytic accelerant. That's how it could serve you. So breaches suck though. I'm telling you, breaches suck. So for those who went to the Black Magic Revocation Meditative event over the weekend, you definitely should utilize those recordings. Like, utilize them, please. It is something that will greatly help you with whatever this is. I will not be doing another one for quite some time. I'm extremely busy as of late. So I will not be doing another one for quite some time. don't know. I'm not sure. So there's information that's coming through, and I'm attempting to rapidly integrate all of this information so that I could share whatever is appropriate to share. It's about shifting matrices. What is attempting to be done is the matrix that we're in, it's almost like they're trying to do a destiny swap. This destiny swap. Hold on. Um, give me 1 second. Okay. The elbows are about holding on, balance, and personal growth. Enables movement and flexibility, can symbolize a need for balance in life. Could also remind us that change is constant and that embracing the unknown can lead to growth. It's a message asking you to step out of your comfort zone and embrace new experiences. The left is associated with intuition, emotional intelligence, and creativity. The right is linked to practicality, action, and leadership. Okay. So those are some of the things that you could really allow yourself to welcome in. Like allow yourself to welcome in that emotional growth, the ways in which you are now being tasked to guide yourself, feeling empowered in your ability to guide yourself, right? Many people, you're very scared to guide yourself. Why? Because you're just so accustomed to letting other people do it for you. That's the only reason. It's not you're incapable. I was talking to someone very near and dear to me a long time ago, and it was this conversation of making sure that you don't confuse being incapable versus just not wanting to do it. Right? I think for some, you just don't want to do it. It doesn't feel like something you want to do. And that's okay if you don't want to do it, but you still have to do it. You still have to. What is already with you? So this potentiality that's going to be pushed forward, it's already with you, but you just have to allow yourself to recognize that a storm is brewing. There is going to be a major shifting in energy. I'm already feeling it. And if you're not feeling it yet, lovely, but you probably will begin to feel it soon. And if you think like, oh, I'm not special, I don't have all of these like magical gifts and qualities like everyone else. Okay, baby, if you're drawn to me, yes, you do. And you just don't want to tap into it. That's the reality. Neurotypical people cannot stand me. They can't understand me. They cannot stand me. They think I'm full of shit and all the yada da 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 da. Yeah, so it's like whatever. Those who find resonance with me, babe, your brain works like mine. It just does. Doesn't make us better. Just it's time for us to embrace that we're different. Hi, Pinsan. Um, hmm. So you need to tap into those abilities. It makes things a lot easier for you. If you allowed yourself to, it makes things a lot easier for you. What you want wants you. So what is it that you want? I think for some people, what they want is something very negative because they haven't gotten past whatever it is that they're punishing themselves for. And it might be something that's happening on a very subconscious level. So if you consistently have these bad things happening to you, you have to ask yourself, what is unresolved within me? All right. I've been watching you for years. Maybe now is not the right time to act, but to assess. Assessment is a form of action. It's an internal action. Yeah. Don't rush into something without first assessing. Thank you for commenting that, because first and foremost, to me, it's common sense to just assess before you take action. But the way my brain is not always what the common process is, the most common type of internal process. So, yes, you have to assess. And then once you assess, you have to determine when to implement the action that you find appropriate. So, it's one of those things, okay? Necessarily a message you're going to be surrounded in darkness. It's highly likely, but it's not guaranteed. The main thing is whatever your higher self shines a light on is what you actually need to pay attention to, what you probably need to take action on, right? So, what is it? I don't know. That's a question for you to answer. And that's a question for you to explore. You have to go beyond normal. You have to go beyond what you think is what is all that's needed. If you go beyond, allow your higher self, your soul, to be the thing that guides you as to how far you go. You have to listen. You have to listen. You have to receive the confirmations for what they are. Don't read too far into it and don't disregard it. It's that beautiful middle zone, right? For many people, they'll ask for confirmation, they'll be given that confirmation, and then they'll ask for another and another and another and another. And when you do those types of things, you know what's happening? You're actively doubting, you're actively rejecting, you're actively pushing away the guidance from soul. And that is going to be very difficult. That's going to really complicate your journey. And no one else can control that but you. I go through those processes as well. It's something that's very common. But when I recognize I'm in that process and doing that self doubt, I have to pause and tell myself, girl, stop. Stop. Your soul already told you. Stop asking. And then I have to allow myself to kind of just continue moving forward. Again, going beyond normal. You have to go beyond the very last of whatever it is that you're needing to do, right? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, your soul is trying to freaking do everything it can to protect you during this period. Your soul never wanted you punished. You know that, right? Your soul has never made it some type of goal to punish you and create more hardship than what's absolutely necessary for your growth. That's just, as humans, we often think we know better than soul. I know I've done that for quite a few years. Now I'm like, I don't know shit. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Dum, 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 dum. Ghost, ride the whip. Ghost, ride the whip. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I do also tell soul, fizz face. Okay, seriously. There's going to be a revolutionary thing that your higher self is pushing through. Revolution. This is your higher self trying to push through, and I don't know who this will apply to. This is your higher self trying to push through rapid growth that you might not think you're ready for. And we probably could do it slower, but your soul says, no, fast track. It needs to happen now. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm not usually allowed to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. For those that this message applies to, you don't have the luxury of waiting. If you scare easy, you should probably mute me until I give the thumbs up. If you are resonating and feeling like, holy crap, I think she's talking to me. If you're feeling that resonance and you scare easy, literally mute me until I give you a thumbs up. Just trust me. because what I'm about to say is going to be a challenging thing to wrap your mind around in a very adversarial and scary way. So, okay, I'm assuming I'm muted, right? Can you hear me? No? Okay, good. For those of a specific type of lineage, those of a specific form of purpose in this life, you are actively being hunted by things that you are not aware of. And yeah, you don't have that luxury. You don't have the time to diddle around. You don't have that luxury. Your template needs to go online. You need to accept yourself. If you don't, you will get breached. Every part of you that you reject is a part of you that goes offline, meaning minimal amounts of energy goes to maintain that. And if you've been conditioned to believe that you are combative and that makes you a fucking bitch, and like no one will like you if you're combative and you're a pain in the ass and yada, 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 guess what? The part of you that is custom designed to protect you and make you inaccessible during this period, it's offline. So then what does that mean? You can't protect yourself. Your soul is pushing it through. It is pushing it through. That means a lot of really just intense dreams, a lot of really weird sensations, like you don't know what's happening, you sense something, you suddenly saw something, all of that stuff, just like really weird type occurrences. You're still safe as your abilities go online, because now your soul is forcing it through. What ends up happening is you suddenly have access to these abilities. For most people, multiple clairs will go active: clairvoyance, clairsentience, clair audience, whatever the clairs are that you need access to, it will go active. That means you'll suddenly just begin experiencing what those clairs will do for you. So for most people, that's a scary thing. For most people, they're like, oh my God, I fucking see things in my room. Babe, is it shadow? They're below you. Trust me, they're below. You're anchored at a higher dimensional level of consciousness. You're just seeing them. It's like layers of an onion. You're just seeing them. Just ignore it. If they're trying to interact with you, that's a whole nother thing. And you need to just be like, motherfucker, I wish you would. Don't say that. That's the thing I would say. You have to tell yourself, do they pay rent in your home? No. Then they don't get to say what happens in your home, and they need to get the fuck out. Okay, I'm serious. I'm serious. I have been known to tell entities, bitch, did you pay utilities this month? Did you pay rent? Are you paying the insurance? No? Okay, you need to get the fuck out. You need to get out. Ew, you don't belong here. I'm serious. I'm serious. So, all this stuff that's happening, you don't need to be specialized, right? Whoever muted me, good. You protected yourself. Good. Okay, you're probably going to need to listen to what I said later on at some point, maybe weeks from now, who knows. But good. It's about you making sovereign decisions of what you're comfortable with and not comfortable with. I'm totally serious. I'm not mocking you. I'm all about you choosing for yourself what you're ready to hear and what you're going to wait to hear. That's a choice. That's your right to choose. So, soul is not waiting for you to get comfortable with what you're specialized in. It's just pushing everything through. It's pushing everything through because, again, like I said earlier, for many people, especially if you are heavily resonating with this, you don't have the luxury of taking your time to develop these things. They're developing just so your soul can actually defend you during this period. Now, if you want to learn how to consciously harness those abilities, I do teach classes for that. I teach classes for that. So that's something that can help you put into context the sensations, the experiences that you're having that really just are unexplainable thus far. Now, your soul is calibrating, and I don't know who this message is for, but your soul is calibrating your field to repel, right? What I've experienced, and I've seen this quite often as someone who is pioneering the field of parasitic extraction, I see this very often. The more pronounced someone's parasitic circumstance is, the more anchored that is in their field, the higher the likelihood that they will be very averse to me and try and project onto me their issues. Like, oh, I can't stand you. Okay, then fucking go away. You want me to leave? This is my channel. What the fuck? Scroll. Keep scrolling. It's simple. Or they'll be like, oh, you just create fear. You're just in it for the money. So then scroll. Why are you still here? You know what I'm saying? There is this, how would I put it? There is this potential that as this happens, you're going to misunderstand what's actually happening, right? I'm for this part, I want to be very mindful of the emotions that will rise up in you, because I don't want to unintentionally hurt you or add to your hurt. There's a very high likelihood that for those of you who go through this, especially the most sensitized empaths, as your higher self repels these people who are parasitic in nature, you'll begin to blame yourself. You'll begin to think, what am I doing? Is it something I'm doing? People just don't like me. Like, what? Why does no one want to talk to me anymore? Why are all my friends acting like I'm no longer their friend? Why are they not inviting me to things? Why am I so alone? I'm the problem. You're not the problem. There is no problem. I mean that. You are not a problem. There is no problem. This is the cost of clearing. You have to accept on your time, of course. You have to accept you are being protected, not isolated. Your soul and your life is clearing away what is harmful for your development. And because of your loyalty, because of the way you love, you would have never walked away, no matter how toxic they are to you. I know, because that's how I am too. It's hard to get me to truly love someone on a personal level. I love everyone on that agape level, that omni love level. Like, everyone is worthy of love. But for me to love you on a personal level and integrate you into my life, by the time I do that, I'm committed to you. I'm loyal to you. You would never have to ask me to defend you. You will never have to wonder if I will just walk away. No matter what happens, I'll be there. Unless, of course, you choose to betray my sensitivity. You see it as a weakness and me as a way to achieve something, get something that you want. At which point, that's not aligned. It's not a reciprocal type love, and I have to walk away. And I don't seek to destroy people I walk away from. I don't. There's still not a single person, no matter how nasty they've been, that I want them to suffer or want them to not have financial stability and peace in their life. I feel like just that's everyone has a right to that. And another reason why I feel like I don't have to go out of my way to punish people is because I know the kind of love that I give. It took me a long time to realize it. But I know the kind of love that I give, and you probably only come across that once in your life. There is no greater punishment than experiencing the one thing you want, the one thing that will heal you, the one thing you need and will crave for the rest of your life, and knowing you will never have that again. That's a life sentence. I never go back. It takes me a long time to get there. Once I'm there, I board the train and I don't look back. You will never access me again. At all. Knowing the void that exists because my energy is now withdrawn. I've seen this year after year after year. It fucking destroys the person, not because I want them destroyed, but because they realize I was genuine the whole time. I never wanted anything in return. I just wanted the opportunity to love you in ways you've never been loved. People choose what they choose. And whatever it is they choose, I respect that now. Will no longer try and convince you to choose something else, to choose my friendship, to choose to value what is real, what is freely given with no strings, no expectations, no nothing. I simply see and accept what it is you show me and tell me with your words, with your actions, with your absence and lack of action. I just accept it. And I move forward. Ask me how the people I've walked away from are doing. I wouldn't know. I assume good, but I wouldn't know. Why? Because I will never check. I will never check. When I say I respect your decision to remove me from your life, I mean that down to my core. I will never check in. I will never silently troll your page to see if you're doing good or if you miss me or you're suffering. No. I carry on with life, and that's it. I just move forward. No ill wishes, no wasting my energy, no wasting my time. That density that's hiding something, I think maybe for some of you, what it's hiding is your desire to see if they're hurting without you. What does it matter? Only someone who was hurting before they knew you existed would have ever sabotaged the connection you had. Only someone who was already hurting before they knew you existed would throw away something so sacred. So what does it matter? They've always hurt. And your existence in their life was not going to heal that. So don't hurt yourself by checking in. Don't allow your feelings to be hurt by the reality that you already know. Instead, focus on what is coming from your core. What's coming from your core? Your soul's invitation to heal beyond the limitations that you've set for yourself thus far. Your soul's invitation to heal beyond what your ancestors could have ever hoped to heal to the level of. Yes, to the level of. Allow your process. Allow your experiences. Observe from a space of neutral observation. When things get crazy, when things get super emotional, allow yourself to acknowledge that you're feeling that emotion, and then pause. Pause and ask yourself, why am I actually feeling this? Is it because of what's happening, or is what's happening triggering a return to a space within my history where I felt disempowered, disrespected, disregarded, whatever the density is? Because I promise you, what you're reacting to is not the moment. What you're reacting to is how that moment is bringing you back to an older moment that you never actually resolved within yourself. And here's the last truth bomb. You never needed the apology or the final conversation with a person. What you needed was the apology you owe yourself and the conversation between the self and the soul. Your experience was never about another human. It was always about what that other human was showing you about yourself. So actually let yourself see what it is. And then maybe you'll begin to heal in such a way that will open you to deeper healing. And as these periods of energy shifting and adversarial emotions, because you're fighting your emotions, right? Maybe the next time we have this type of opportunity, you'll see it for what it is. An opportunity to speed more healing, accelerate and amplify your understanding of yourself. You don't need to be fully healed to be worthy of a life that was already designed for you. That was not a prerequisite. You see, when you came into this life, you signed up to experience the pain that only humans can experience. Souls don't feel this type of pain, this type of sadness, this absolute dissolution. They don't. They don't. Mm-mm. It's the human that does, and that's why a human existence is a gift. You will never again feel this until you come into human form again. Many of us, including myself, I often say, like, who the fuck keeps letting me come back here? And then I drag my whole team like shit. Because it's a gift. It's the only way to feel the things that only humans can feel. So when you start feeling sad, remind yourself, in the grand scheme of things, this is just the blink in the eye of a soul. It's not a very long time. It's not. Your human self won't understand that. But it deserves to be reminded anyways. So I'm going to get going. Thank you for the reminder, Lindsay. I do have... Ha ha ha. When I said I do have, and Micah goes, an attitude? He he ha ha. Yes. Yes. Yes, I do. I have a workshop coming up next month. Is it next month? Next month. It's a baneful protection workshop. I promise you, this is the last time I'm doing this workshop. It's not a bad workshop. It's just, it's not my cup of tea, but I'm really good at teaching it. So if you missed the first time I did it, now's your chance. The baneful protection workshop, you can click on the QR code or the link in the comment. For those on TikTok, you would need to go to my Hubi link in my bio, and you'll be able to see it at the very top. Excuse me. The Baneful Protection Workshop is where I teach baneful protection magic. The reality, and I don't know if you can find information on this online, but this is based on my memories. I wasn't taught any of the things that I do. These are from my memories. They were left intact from multiple lifetimes. So the baneful protection Baneful magic originally was released into the spiritual leaders of specific nations and tribes. That was information that was given by Creator. It was allowed to be disseminated so that we could negate the work of Lilyu. It was to protect ourselves. And then, of course, as with everything potent and powerful that isn't gate kept, the work got bastardized, just like the teachings of Yeshua. Yes, humans began using it for all sorts of just like yucky things, for power grabs and whatnot. And then it was given a reputation that was not what it was originally for. It wasn't originally to harm others. So when I teach the baneful protection, it's literally to protect you. I'm not teaching you to curse anyone. That's not how I roll. I'm not teaching you to intentionally target people because, again, that is not how I roll. What I'm teaching you is to create such a formidable boundary and a consequence that doesn't incur any type of karma. A correction is not within the realm of karma. Correction has nothing to do with the way you feel. Correction is about correcting an imbalance, a misalignment, a malignant intent that was not justified to begin with. That is a correction. It does not incur karma. So, and I don't know if you guys will find anything on that online. Everything that I've found on karma through the years is about punishment. Karma is not punishment. Karma is miasmic distortion. It's frozen light code. That frozen light code is a pause. It's a glitch within your morphogenetic template. It's indicative of a lesson that was paused. It's not punishment. It never was. It never was. So karma is another concept that's been heavily bastardized. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So when you do a correction, there's no karmic load at all. Because again, you're not targeting someone. I don't teach you to do that. To me, that's some cowardly shit. I don't teach you to be a coward. I teach you to define a boundary, give consequences for the boundary. And if someone chooses to touch the line, then hey, it's not your fault. Their fingers are now yours. You know what I'm saying? My girlfriend put it best years ago because I was crying to her. She's such a kind, sweet, sweet woman. I was crying to her because I didn't want to defend myself. And the amount of atrocity being forced upon me, I ended up blowing a transistor on the other side of town. It took out the electric for the whole town for like a day or two. I'm not even joking. Because as soon as I refused to defend myself, all the power went out in that specific town. And then my girlfriend, she texts me, Emmy, are you in town? And I was like, how did you know? She's like, you blew the electric. I was like, I'm so sorry. She goes, what's happening? Your energy is going crazy. And I was like, I told her I didn't want to fight. Because I don't. I don't like to fight. And she told me something so powerful in the kindest way she possibly could. She let me know that when people don't have consequences, and this was a time where I was hiding pretty much everything about me. I was trying to play small so hard. She said to me, "What you're doing is unfair. You're so humble, and these people have no idea how powerful you are because you hide it so well. And when you keep doing that and they don't know, they don't stop until it gets out of hand." I blew the transformer. My soul will not allow me to be harmed. That charge was going through the pathway the person used to try and access me. Do you understand what that means? That if I didn't deflect that before it reached them, do you understand what that means? It's the equivalent of taking a cord and attaching it to an electronic transformer. You know those big power stations that they have? That runs thousands and thousands of volts through it? That would have hit them in the chest. They would have died. I don't want to fight. And it's not that I'm afraid to fight. I don't want to fight because I know I'm so good at it that you'd never stand a chance of winning. You wouldn't be able to even defend. So I don't fight. But now I've allowed enough to know that is not worth it and nothing you do will get through. And this is what I teach. It's not about fighting. It's not about attacking. It's about allowing your energy and intention to create such a formidable boundary that even the darkest of things will hesitate to cross that, will hesitate to access you. All honey, you say you don't have to fight the traditional ways, send them love. When you send love, it creates a distortion within the field, creating an imbalance within yours. You've now created a deficit within your field, which, because of the cord that you use to send that love, you are displacing within the receiver's field. However much love you give, you don't get to control what they send through that cord to reach homeostasis once again. You send 5 pounds of love, you receive 5 pounds of whatever it is. And most people don't know how to control and filter. So you know what happens? You could receive the 5 pounds of whatever demon that's been living in them, and you won't know. Love, as we're taught in spiritual communities, is a clusterfuck. It's a way to open you up to parasitic infestation with your full consent, but zero awareness. As a matter of fact, sending love, that's a very covert, very, very covert message that I believe I am superior to you and I must now save you. And I will be sending energy to you to do that with or without your consent. I will do this and violate your field, violate your sovereignty, and thus triggering the rules of engagement. That is an act of motherfucking spiritual war. Yep. Spiritual war. You've just declared spiritual war by sending love. without that person's consent, you've triggered the rules of engagement. And if people need some type of really intense analogy to help this really make sense, sending uninvited love is the equivalent of me sticking my hand in someone's pants without being invited to, and saying, but this is how I show love. Like, why are you mad? This is not, like, this is love. I, for one, I don't like being touched by other people without my consent. Elbows fly, knees fly. Yeah, I don't like being touched by other people. Sending love that was not first requested is an absolute violation of sovereign space. Anything you send, unless you are well versed in how morphogenetic templates function and how apartheid filters on the outside auric membrane functions, default setting, you're using a cord. You're cording into someone. What uses cords? Parasitic things. And welcome to the world of spirituality, where everyone cords into everyone like one big orgy, and you cannot be offended. They won't ask you if you would like to be scanned. They'll just start scanning. That's a peeping Tom, looking at your field. You know, my higher self is a little bit dickish because sometimes when people try and scan me, which they won't be able to see inside, the higher self will project visuals on the outside of my shield sometimes to fuck with you because it's hilarious. People will see things. And what's not common knowledge for others is that the outside of my shield is a fucking mirror finish. My students have known this since I first was publicly visible. And once in a great while, I'll have someone who violates other people's privacy and sovereignty. And for whatever reason, they don't like me. You don't know me, never interact with me, and you don't like me. You probably have a fucking demon in your field that doesn't want you anywhere near me, because I'll call that shit out. And they'll be in the comments like, I see the darkness in you. I see the demons in you. You are so infested. And it's like, but you're looking at a mirror. You're looking at a mirror. What you're seeing is yourself. People think I'm an open book. Only if I invite you to the library of my heart. I am not an open book. Sharing moments of my life does not make me an open book. I don't share things that are private to me. I'm very big on privacy. So just know, a lot of your actions, although it's rooted in goodness, good intent, you're starting a fucking spiritual war. You're asking for things to happen. That's why I'm not part of any spiritual community. I don't consider myself spiritual in any way, shape, or form. A lot of disservice is being done in those communities because they're teaching you to invite parasitic things in. Not me. And I sure as hell am not going to be offering to extract no kind of shit at this point. Absolutely not. Nope. Okay, I gotta go. Thank you for the reminder, Lindsay. I gotta go. Please make sure that you guys pay attention to whatever's happening in your life. Not from a space of fear, but from a space of simply needing awareness so that you can make an informed decision as to how you want to move through whatever circumstance you're presented. I don't believe fear is necessary, but I can understand how the uncertainty of things could cause you to be afraid. Just don't allow your fear to cripple you. Allow it to do what it's meant to do. Bring your attention to what actually needs your attention. Okay. So I love you guys. I will see you again